I'm not looking for a super big pen investment yet. I added the word super, but I am willing to spend up to $60 on one. I don't like the plasticky look on pens like the Lamy Safari. Are there any suggestions you have for a low budget beginner's pen that don't look very cheap and maybe aren't plastic? So I loved this question because it's coming right after talking about a $300 to $1,000 pen, and it's like, how about a pen where there's a $60 cap? Great, I'm happy to go there. I love going there. Inexpensive pens are like my home base because that's kind of how I got into pens, and so I'm always, I mean, I love pens like this, but they're not attainable for everybody, so I love talking about the less expensive stuff because it's definitely more attainable for everybody. So getting on some of the more attainable ones, and I'm not naming you a single, well, okay, I have one resin pen in here, but the rest of them are all metal, so I'm happy to show them to you. So under $60, here we go. I think Jinhao is a great place to start, $10 to $12. Very solid pens for the money. Pretty decent writing experience. You could even swap out the nib with a Goulet nib if you wanted to expand your nib size options, get maybe a little smoother writing experience. You can totally do that with these pens. The X450 here, the X750, and then the 159, which is a monster, but you know, it is what it is. You can check any of these pens out. I think they are worthy and have some okay color options going on. I think a pen like the Lamy AllStar, you know, Lamy Safari is that plastic kind of look that you're going for. If you don't mind the aesthetics of the Safari, you just don't want it to be plastic, the AllStar is really cool. This right here is a Toffee AllStar, which is not available anymore, and I'm just a jerk for showing you a color that you can't get anymore. It's got a plastic grip on it, which maybe that feels plastic to you and that's turn off, but just in case, you know, the aesthetic, it's, you know, this nice kind of matte aluminum, anodized aluminum kind of finish to it, which I think is, I don't know if technically it's anodized or whatever the process is, but it's got that look to it. So you can check that out. Lots of good color options there. Does not look like plastic, except for that grip, of course, which is plastic. Another Lamy option for you is the Logo. Couple different colors. It used to only be in a brushed steel, but now they have a twilight, which is kind of cool. So I think that one's worth checking out. The Faber-Castell Loom. I think this is a great pen for the money. It's a little bit more, it's more like in the $40 range. Some decent nib options though, especially the extra fine nib on this pen is one of the smoothest writing and finest extra fine European nibs that I've come across in my experience. Very nice build on this pen though. Faber-Castell has really high build quality with their pens, so you can check that one out. Now the one plastic one that I do have on here is the Conklin Duragraph. So this one I kind of threw in there just to get it on your radar. It's a great pen for the money, more in that $45 range. And yes, it is plastic, but it's a nicer version of it. It's not an injection molded, cheap feeling kind of plastic. This plastic, for lack of a better term, typically is referred to as resin, but it's a cast acrylic resin as opposed to an injection molded plastic. It's a different type of plastic, and the manufacturing process is different because it's cast into a rod and then it's actually drilled out, turned, polished, and all that, as opposed to just spit out into a machine. So it's still plastic, but it's a higher quality looking piece with some very cool patterns and stuff like that. That maybe is just something you haven't had on your radar before, so I just wanted to kind of point that out. But those are some good options for you, all in your price range that I think would be good.